Hey everyone, Miss Kellett here, and I'm going to go over the AP English Language exam to kind of give you an idea of what's going to be on it. So there are two sections to the AP exam. The first one is section one, which is multiple choice questions. It's 45 questions total. It's 45% of your overall score, and it's 60 minutes long. This section includes reading and writing questions. So you'll see some passages that you need to respond to by comprehending the reading. And you'll also see some writing questions where it asks you kind of how to strengthen the writing that's already there, or maybe something about adding something to the writing that's already there. There are usually a few more reading questions than writing. So 23 to 25 reading questions and 20 to 22 writing questions. Section two of the AP exam is free response questions. So these are the three essays. The three essays are synthesis, rhetorical analysis, and argument, and they're all worth the same amount. Okay, so there's three essays. It's 55% of your overall score. So all three go together to make 55% of your score. And you're given 2 hours and 15 minutes to write all three essays. So the first 15 minutes is reading only, and usually you read the synthesis sources, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later during those 15 minutes. You can also start planning, and then you're not allowed to open up and start writing your actual essays until 15 minutes in, and at that point you have 2 more hours. So it's recommended that you take 40 minutes per essay. Okay, so going a little bit more in depth about the multiple choice section, which is what I talked about earlier, it's in purple up here, right? So it's in purple down here to tell you more about it. There are 5 sets of questions. 2 of the sets are reading skills questions. So they go over things like rhetorical situation, claims and evidence, reasoning and organization, and style. Okay, and again, all 5 sets you do in 60 minutes. Okay, so sets 1 and 2 are reading skills. Usually each set has 11 to 14 questions. Okay, and then these percentages here give us an idea of how, like what percentage of those questions cover each skill. So 11 to 14% of the reading skill questions are about the rhetorical situation. Okay, 13 to 16% of the reading questions are about claims and evidence. Okay, so those are the first 2 sets. And then sets 3, 4, and 5 are about writing skills, and they also cover things like rhetorical situation, claims and evidence, reasoning and organization, and then style. Notice that there are 3 sections, but they're each a little bit shorter, like there are fewer questions. And then it kind of tells us again, rhetorical situation, 11 to 14% of the writing skills questions are about rhetorical situation, right? 11 to 14% of the writing skills questions are reasoning and organization. So that gives you an idea of kind of what kind of questions are going to be on the test. And you'll have some resources to look at some examples as well. Now I want to tell you a little bit more about the free response questions. Okay, so the first essay is a synthesis essay. It gives students 6 to 7 sources organized around a specific topic. 2 of the sources are visual and at least 1 is quantitative, meaning like some kind of data. So it could be a chart, it could be a graph, something like that. The remaining sources are text-based, around 500 words. Students are asked to write an essay that synthesizes at least 3 of the sources and develops their own position on the topic. So this is basically an argument essay, except you're given sources that you have to try to use to help prove whatever your claim is in the argument that you're making. Okay, and then stable prompt wording. This means that the prompt is always going to appear in the same type of formula. So if you see these brackets, it means that the information changes every time. But if it's not in brackets, that means that's exactly how it's going to appear on the test. So what's going to happen is they'll introduce whatever subject or topic that they're going to be presenting to you. So a couple years ago, it was windmills. So they gave some information about windmills and kind of like probably like wind power, I'm thinking. And then it says, carefully read the following 6 sources, including the introductory information for each source. Write an essay that synthesizes material from at least 3 of the sources and develops your position on, and then this is where it talks about the topic again. So windmills and the positive and negative effects that they have on the environment, something like that. Okay, so that's the synthesis essay. The next essay is the rhetorical analysis essay. The rhetorical analysis essay presents students with a passage of nonfiction prose. So prose is just a fancy way of saying basically that it's not a poem, right? So it's just like some kind of text. It's going to be a speech or an article or a letter probably. And it's 600 to 800 words. Again, it's nonfiction. Students are asked to write an essay that analyzes the writer's rhetorical choices. So you are saying, how does the writer achieve their argument or their point, and what choices do they make that help to achieve that point? So this is the way that the prompt is always worded. First, they give background information on the rhetorical situation. So they might talk about, like, if it's an Abigail Adams letter, that'd be really lucky because we did that one. It would give information about who Abigail Adams was and what was she doing and who was she writing to. And then this part always stays the same. Read the passage carefully. Write an essay that analyzes the rhetorical choices whoever the writer is, Abigail Adams, makes to achieve her argument. Okay, and then sometimes it gives you a clue about what the argument is, other times it might not. Okay, so we've practiced this one a lot. We're going to go back to it, but that is essay number 2. And finally, essay number 3 is your argument essay. It presents students with a literary or rhetorical concept or idea, and then students are asked to write an essay that argues their position using evidence. So usually you just get like a short little blurb that's like an idea, kind of gets you thinking about the idea, and then it says, okay, what do you think? And you use your own evidence. There is no text for the argument essay. It's just whatever you can pull out of your brain. So usually it gives a topical discussion, an introduction or quotations or background information. So it kind of just gives you like a little bit of context about what they're going to ask you. And then it says, write an essay that argues your position on blank. So whatever your position is. And then you just go from there. You think of whatever examples from the real world or from your personal life that you can. Okay. I hope this helps you to get thinking about the test. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can also Google example AP English language exam 2019 or 2020, and it'll help you see some examples. Naviance is also a great way to start preparing for the test. And of course, AP Classroom is another great way. Good luck, and I will see you back in class. Thanks for watching.